like us to try and think of a visual way of what does the word 6 divided by 2 mean? Well, if we start to think of it in terms of steps instead, we've got 6 and we're splitting our step up into 3 short trips. So instead of going 6 kilometres in one way, we're going first 2 kilometres, then another 2 kilometres, and then another 2 kilometres. So in terms of trips, 6 divided by 3 is going to give us, 6 divided by 2 is going to be like equivalent to 3 trips. And we can actually think about that as fractions as well. If we were going to split this up into, we have a half at the moment, and we're going to split it up into quarters instead. How would we be able to get, how many trips would we need to be able to take to go to this half if we split the quick trips up in quarters? Well, here's a quarter. It's halfway between 0 and a half. So if we were to split it up into trips of quarter, how many trips would we have? We'd have 2 trips. So a half divided by a quarter is 2. Mathematically, I've taught you that the way of dividing fractions is to keep this number the same, change these two upside down, 4 over 1, and put a multiply sign there. 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's the answer we got here that we were able to show on our sketch. What about 2/3 then? If we were to split 2/3 up into 6, well, halfway between 0 and a third is a 6th, and halfway between a third and 2/3 is another 6th. So if we were to split our trip up into 6, and we're going here, this is our final goal, going all the way to 2/3, and we were to split it up into 6, here's a 6th, 1 trip, 2 trips, 3 trips, 4 trips. So I would expect that to take us 4 trips. Let's see mathematically if we use the method that I've taught you to divide fractions. We have 2/3 divided by 1/6. Keep the first number the same, 2/3, times 6 over 1. We get that 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. 3's go 4 times into 12. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So we would get 4 trips, which is what we got when we sketched it up like this. So this is a way you can think of what are we doing when divide one fraction by another fraction. We can actually think of it as as breaking that long trip, if this was 2/3 of a Swedish mile, it's quite far, into smaller trips. How many small trips would we get? Okay, so you can think of division with fractions a little bit in a more visual way if you think like that.